Welcome to Absolute Alignment with Christelle Biiga, when success feels easy, on TransformationTalkRadio.com. And now your host, Christelle Biiga.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this new episode of Absolute Alignment with Christelle, when success feels easy. It's always a pleasure to have you with me live every first and third Friday of the month, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time for a new episode. Of course, you can always be with me in the studio while we are recording this show. And the way for you to do that is simply by going on the description of this show and clicking on the live studio audience link to have a seat, be with us while we are having these powerful conversations. And at the end of the live episode, you get a chance to ask your questions in real time and get live coaching. It's really powerful. So go ahead and take advantage of that. It's always a pleasure to have you with me here. It's always a pleasure for me to support you. So today's episode is really exciting for many reasons. First, because you're here, but also because I have a guest who is just fire. We share the same message around courage and choices and empowerment, giving people the confidence to make those difficult decisions, those difficult choices, because we know that's what it takes to create the life that you really want. Today's topic is the positive choice and the power of choices. Now more than ever, the choices we make are critical. We hear a lot. I do. I don't know about you, but I hear a lot of conversations around, oh, I did that because I did it. That's the right thing to do. Let's talk about that. The right thing to do. I'm doing it for, everyone else. I'm doing it because, it's something that benefits everyone else. I didn't really want to do it, but I had no choice. I didn't really want to do it, but that was the thing to do. When we have those conversations, when we entertain that belief that we are doing the right thing for other people, we are doing the right thing for the community, we are doing the right thing for the group, it's great. But I want us to take a moment and ask ourselves this question. Is the right thing for who? If we are not included in that equation of the right thing, the right choice, the right decision, what makes it right? Is it right because someone else said so? Is it right because someone else believes so? Or is it right because we deeply believe that it is right? That's what matters. Because the notion of right or wrong is really blurry. Right for who? And each time I ask that to one of my coaching clients, the answers are always is really interesting. Oh, I do that for my relationship, for my partner. I do that because it's the right thing to do for my parents. It's the right thing to do for my kids. It's the right thing to do for so and so. I never hear it's the right thing to do for me. Just like it's a bad thing. Just like it's a crime. It's a horrible thing to do something for ourselves. And everyone else makes you feel bad if you dare. If you dare to do something for yourselves, that doesn't involve them. Because bottom line being, you have to live your life for other people. Your life is not yours. You have to make other people happy, make other people feel safe, make other people feel whatever they want to feel. But you don't have to worry about how you feel. You don't have to worry about what makes you happy. You don't have to worry about what is good for you. And if you dare to do that, the pressure comes right there. How dare you? How selfish is this? How come? Don't you care about your kids, your husband, your wife, your parents, your community, whatever? Don't you care? But my question to you, if you find yourself in that conversation, is how good can you really be for your family, for your friends, for your partner, if you are not happy with the choices you are making? What are you giving them? A person that is frustrated, a person who, is really unfulfilled, just trying to make them happy, a resentful person, that's what they're getting from you because you're not happy, you are not fulfilled, you don't have the life that you want because you're creating the life that they want. So in return, they are getting a version of you that is frustrated, that is resentful, that is unfulfilled, that is unhappy. Do you really think they deserve that? Do you think it's an act of love for you to show up that way? Or do you think, just for a second, that it would be best for you to create a happy life for yourself so that you can show up in those relationships as the happy you? Because that's how you'll be able to radiate happiness and joy and love. It has to start with you. And for you to find that place of happiness and joy and fulfillment is to first choose you. Choose what makes you happy. Choose what makes you feel good. And I know right now your brain can feel triggered. Oh my gosh, but that's so selfish. Says who? Says the people who want you to live for them. Those are the only people that would think it's selfish for you to live your life because they don't want you to live your life. They want you to live your life for them. Those are the only people who will think it's selfish for you to choose you. Because if each one of us were living our lives, we will not be judging other people, judging their choices, judging their decisions. It starts with you. So my invitation to you today is to really take a moment and think about it and maybe journal on that, write that. In what area of my life do I feel right now that I'm choosing other people's happiness, other people's joy, other people's satisfaction, other people's safety, and giving up on me? Sacrificing what I want. What are those areas? And is it time for me now to choose me? Is it possible for me to choose me? Maybe for the first time. And to support you in that process, that I know it's scary. I know how scary it can be to finally say, I'm choosing me. I don't care what you guys think. I don't care if it's okay with you, and I respect your opinion, but this is what I think is right for me. I have with me today an amazing guest. She's all about choices and courage because, as I said, it's scary to make those decisions. It's scary to choose you in a world where everybody expects you to do things for them. It's scary to finally break through that pressure, that social pressure, that community pressure, that family pressure. It takes courage to stand out and be you. So I want you to help me welcome Diane McClay, a personal empowerment coach, author, speaker. She's amazing. So this conversation is going to be powerful. I hope you have a pen and a paper because there will be a lot for you to learn. Welcome, Diane.
Hey, thank you, Christelle. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to just be in your sphere of influence, to hear your messaging, your words. You said a lot, and I think one of the things that's really important is everything has to come into balance. In order for us to really be the best version of ourselves and give to the world, we have to have everything come into balance. And I love how you invited the audience to start thinking about themselves and what's right for them. We don't hear that very often.
Yes, it is because the people judge it. They call it selfish. You have to forget about yourself and think about everyone else. But
well,
go ahead.
I like to redefine selfish. I think self-centered is when you make everything all about you all the time. Right. Mm-hmm. But I think selfish is, if you think about self, then it's okay. Like, I think we have to make the choice to redefine what selfish means. Up until now, we have believed that it is what other people. For being a kid, I was very fortunate to have a mom who stayed at home, and she was the driver to our school events, and she was, our Girl Scout leader. And I remember a time that she said to my sister and I, she was crying and she was stressed out and she was She had been giving all of herself to everybody else. You know, she was the chairperson of the PTA, and she was checking all the boxes of all the things that she should do as a good mom. And she wasn't taking care of herself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, soulfully. And leader, uh, she apologized again and again. I'm sorry, I can't be here for you. But the second part of her sentence was, I have to do this for me. And I was in high school when that lesson came to me, that you have to stop and you have to give all of it, and the energy that you give to other people, you have to be selfish and give it back to yourself, or you have nothing left to give.
Yes, that's the issue. That's what usually happens. And funny enough, women are the one who struggle with that a lot. Why? Because of the conditioning. As women, everyone else knows exactly what is the checklist to be a good person. Good women don't wear this. You cannot laugh this loud. It's inappropriate for you to wear this kind of clothes. You know, the conditioning starts from a very young age. So we grow up really having that checklist running in the back of our mind. Who do I need to be for people to accept me? Who do I need to be for people to think I'm okay, that I'm a good girl, that I'm a good person? And that questioning is permanent. So in each decision we have to make, we always find ourselves asking that question: is it okay for me to do this? So that's why I understand the story you just shared, because we were never taught that we can just do whatever we want. We can just be whoever we want. No, it was never okay to be whoever you want, because if you laughed a certain way, they will tell you that's not good enough. You can't. That's not good. So how can you support women right now? Because yes, we're talking about women, but really for anyone who finds themselves in that space where before making any decision, they double check if it's okay for everyone else. How can you help them shift from that place of fear and trying to please other people?
Well, I think the first step, thank you for asking that question. I think the first step is to make sure that we just have awareness about how much we're giving to everybody else, and do a check in. I mean, make a list, keep a journal. 40 hours of the week goes to this, 20 hours a week goes to this. If I think the first thing is just, if you're not sure if you're giving to yourself, uh, keep a tally for a week and figure out how much time you're giving away to everybody else, and then run the numbers. I would bet, and I don't have the stats, but I would bet most women probably take 5% of their time, 5 to 10% of their time that they're awake, to even remotely think about something themselves. And that's usually, if you're a mom, it's usually you go hide in the bathroom and read a book for 5 minutes because you have peace and quiet, right? The first thing is create some awareness. I think the second thing is you create some space around yourself and you protect that space. I think you start with something small and you say, I'm going to take half an hour. I'm going to take 30 minutes where I'm not interrupted and I'm not responding to texts or emails or mom, where's my shoes? I think you pick a specific time during the day and you say, this is just for me. And whatever you do in that time is for you. And then the third thing is, I think you kind of reflect on that and say, how did I feel when I took that time for me? Did it feel good? Did it feel right? The beauty about being humans, we're bipeds, we have two legs, we walk one foot in front of the other. We can literally walk towards what we want at the same time that we walk away from what we don't want. So those are a couple of steps. The other thing is figure out how your body feels when others ask you to do something for. Are you joyful? Do you feel open and expansive? Oh, sure, I'd love to do that. That makes me happy. You, or do you feel closed? Do you feel like you have to do it because somebody is going to say something negative about you? I mean, how many times do we get a lunch date or somebody calls us and says, hey, I want you to come over and have dinner with us. And people are like, oh, maybe it's relatives or in-laws. And the response, oh, well, we get to choose how we respond to that information our body is giving us. So if you feel open and expansive, step into it. It serves you. And if it feels closed and constrictive, it's not serving you and it's not meant for you. And then have the courage to say, sorry, I can't today. Right? Does that make sense?
And that's really key here. I love how you said we have to check within ourselves how we feel about the information that is coming to us. When a choice shows up, okay, you have this invitation or you have this request to do something, how do you feel about it? If it's a yes, yeah, of course, that's the right thing to do for you. But if you feel that fight, oh my God, I really don't, I hate spending time with these people, or I don't really want to do this thing. Now, the challenge usually is the courage to honor that feeling that I don't want to do it because of the guilt. Guilt is a big piece. Oh my gosh, if I don't go there or if I don't do this, people will judge me and I will not be a good person. They will think I'm mean. They will think I don't care. They will think they don't matter. All that guilt shows up and it makes it just so challenging for people to make that courageous choice and say, I don't want to do it, so I'm not doing it. It doesn't feel good to me, so I'm not going there. So how can you help people really get over that guilt?
You know, guilt is something, my mom used to say this. She used to say, guilt is like a speck on your shoulder. All you have to do is brush. You have to know that it's there. You have to know that it's weighing you down. First of all, you have to again, awareness. You have to recognize that guilt is a part of the equation. If you say things to yourself like, well, if I don't do this, then ... Or if I don't do this, someone will think or say, that's guilt. That's societal guilt. So how you get away from guilt is you just own being in integrity with yourself. It's to say to yourself, it's okay that I pick me first. The reason why I'm picking me first is because I need space, or I need to regroup, or I need to rejuvenate. I think we have to give ourselves permission. And for some women, it might even be literally writing it down. I give you permission to say no to other people. But getting rid of the guilt is a choice. You can choose to feel guilty and let it weigh you down and let it hold you back. Or you say, if I were to remove this guilt, how would I feel? And then is that more in alignment with me? It sounds very simple to say choose guilt or don't choose guilt, but I think we have to choose to shed receiving it. I think it's about letting it go. So what if somebody said something? I mean, if you're in alignment, if you have a relationship with integrity within yourself, then I think that's easier to let go of the guilt. When you're not feeling that harmony and that balance within yourself, it's easier to accept guilt. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Does that make sense the way I'm saying it?
Absolutely. It really starts with you deciding, maybe while you are listening to this or watching this, decide right now if you are going to choose you. It's a choice. You don't have to. Am I going to choose me? Am I choosing me? And when you say you choose you, it means at any given moment, whenever you have to make a decision, you come back to that simple question. The decision I'm about to make, is it a decision that will make the little girl or the little guy in me feel chosen? Feel chosen, right?
Right.
So so that's what it is, really, choosing you. And it's a decision that you make every day. We have a caller. Okay, I think the production is saying that, okay. Yeah, Dr. Pat wants to join the conversation as a caller. That would be amazing. Dr. Pat would love to have your question. Feel free to join us. So let us know, Melina, whenever she can join. That would be great. So that's really what it is. It's you deciding to choose you. Hello?
She's coming on right now.
Awesome.
Hey.
Hi,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Pat.
Hey, this is Dr. Pat.
Hi, Dr. Pat.
OMG to both of you. I am going to listen to this show like over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know if you both plan to have this show be a message for the time we're living in. I don't know if you plan to really tap into the hearts and the soul of women. I don't know if you both planned and got together, maybe had nothing to do over the weekend and said, how can we create the most powerful show on the planet to help all of us leave shame and guilt behind? Whatever you two did to bring the show to the forefront, this is a message that we need to shout from the highest buildings, and to have you two powerful people delivering this message today, I am going to promote the heck out of it, because what a pain point this thing is. I mean, this is worse than being denied hot dogs when you live in New York. And I don't want to take up a lot of your time because I don't want people to miss this. But if there was a soul fire that needed to be ignited, this show is doing it. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, both of you. You're rock stars in this arena. Please keep firing it up. Make us all think about our own behavior the way you are today. And Diane, thank you for the tips. Thank you for pointing out to me that I could actually leave something behind and start something new in the same second. Thank you for that, both of you. You rock. Great show, always. Thank you both.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pat, for jumping in. Thank you, thank you. And it feels good to know that, what we're talking about it's helpful. So we really appreciate you giving us that feedback, and we really appreciate you taking the time to come here and sharing your experience, because yes, so many women go through that space, and it's conditioning. And I was having that conversation with a client a few days ago. I said, I hear you, because we all have that guilt on us all the time to be a certain way, to be accepted. And if we always worry about other people, and we think if we do not carry their weight, if we do not take care of them, we did something wrong. So that guilt is so deep. But again, we have to make a decision. As scary as it is, as difficult as it can be, to just remember that whenever we choose other people's happiness and fulfillment and joy, we are letting ourselves down. If we can find a win-win situation, it's always best. Let's always find a way that works for us and other people, but not a way that works for them and not for us. And it's so painful to live like that. So Diane, we really want to remember or help people make that choice, that difficult choice of choosing, I'm choosing me. Because guess what? Each time you don't choose you, no one else is choosing you. Just think about it. Who is choosing you? Who is taking care of your desires? Who is taking care of your wants? Who is taking care of your needs? No one. If you don't step up for yourself, if you do not choose you, no one else will. So please care for yourself. So Diane, can you help, with a tip? I know you already did, with really shifting or just deciding to let go of the guilt. But we know making choices is not, it's easier said than done. So if a woman is right now in a conversation of, okay, ladies, you don't understand my situation. You don't know what is happening in my life. I have to sacrifice this in order for my family or for my kids to have that. What can you tell her right now?
I can tell her, first of all, it's okay. It's good that you have that perspective, that you are making sacrifices for other people. But I want to bring a word back in that Dr. Pat just said. She said, us talking about making ourselves important. If we don't do that, we are denying ourselves. And she said, denying the opportunity to treat us as ourselves, as important people in the conversation, is like a New Yorker denying themselves a hot dog, right? So the question is, what are you denying to yourself by saying yes to everybody else? That's the first thing. The second thing is step into it. Sometimes one choice is just to inform the next choice. What if it wasn't a right decision or a wrong decision or a good decision or a bad decision? What if we just agreed we were making a decision to move ourselves forward and to let go of the shame and let go of the guilt while we're doing it. That's what I would
Yes,
say.
absolutely. And because we know this is a big shift and we know how challenging it can be, it's baby steps. Just start with baby steps. And the first step is really the awareness. Just really pay attention to the conversations happening in your mind anytime you have to make a decision. Just pay attention how you feel about the decision you're about to make and how does that serve you. If you don't put yourself first in that conversation, the first step is really awareness. There's no judgment here, but just you paying attention to that conversation and making little decisions as small as they can be to choose you whenever you have the power to do so. So I hope this helps. So thank you so much, Diane,
You're
for this
welcome.
beautiful conversation. How can the listeners get in contact with you if they want to continue this with you?
Honestly, DianeMcClay.com, or I'm old school, send me a text, say choose me to 503-317-8072, and we can continue the conversation after that. Text me, choose me, and then we'll go from there, 503-317-8072.
Thank you so much, Diane. And we're going to continue the conversation in the live studio audience with our VIP guests. That's also an opportunity. If you want to be on the next one, click on the link in the description of this show to be in the studio with us. Right now, we are going to thank you for the time you spent with us, for watching, for listening. We appreciate you, and we really hope this was helpful. We want you to live a life of choice, a life that you design, and a life that makes you happy and fulfilled. We are here every first and third Friday of the month, 1:30 p.m., 4:30 Pacific time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. For now, bye. We wish you a happy Friday and a happy life full of choice, of joy, and happiness. My name is Christelle Biiga. I'm your host, and I'm always happy to serve you. Bye-bye.